What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Boomer Backfield. My name is Kylan.
I'm Colby.
My name is Spencer May.
And we're going to be bringing you guys a little OU versus Alabama breakdown. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Anything helps, bring you guys the best content possible.
Yes.
It's going to be a rough one. I can't lie. I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So, prayers. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for prayers.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Spencer said this at the beginning of the year, which is, I hope by this game that we're this game means something.
Yep.
Like, it actually means something, whether that is, the playoff. Ideally, we were talking about the playoff at that time, but now we're hoping it just means a bowl game. But really, I think this game has meaning in the sense of if we win, we go to a bowl game. But I feel like it's kind of meaningless because we're going to get stopped. And I hope that's not the case. And the thing is like maybe there's some Sooner magic. So I'm not going to say that right now. But, we wanted this game to have meaning by the time it came. And I really feel like it just doesn't.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was just like hoping that when this game happens, I would be excited for it.
Yep.
And I'm not really that excited for it. I'm more excited to watch other games than our game, for sure. So,
yeah,
just disappointing that that's the case. Same with the LSU game, honestly. It's like I'm not that excited to watch LSU versus OU. I mean, who is? Both of them are out of the playoffs. One of them is way better than the other. It's like just not even that entertaining. So
I feel like it's exciting in the sense that like we haven't played these teams on a regular basis.
Like
so
we got Bama
it'll be
at home.
like we got Bama.
Like,
it's like
we got Bama. Yeah.
and it'll probably for how it might go, it'll be fun for the first quarter until it's 21-0, and then that excitement's gonna wear off. Because, you're going to see him run out, and they're going to be having a little all-white, and he's like, oh, dude, that's Jalen Milroe. And then he's going to say, yeah, I am Jalen Milroe. And it's going to be a dot to Ryan Williams.
Dude, that's the thing is I'm most excited to fangirl these guys that I've never, like, these are some of the best players that have stepped on that field in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had really, like, NFL
that's
guys come out onto our field.
At least a couple years.
I always love seeing the size, like, differential. Bro.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, you look, and you're like,
Jalen Milroe is huge.
he's big. He's like 6'2".
That rascal is massive.
Yeah.
He's built like a linebacker, and he can run.
Yeah,
he can run fast. It's crazy.
I don't know. It's sad that the reason I'm excited to watch this game is I'm excited to fangirl Alabama players. Like, I'm excited to watch Ryan Williams play because I bet he's going to make a big play. And I'm going to be like, Ryan Williams, you're so awesome. That's why I'm excited to watch this game, which is so sad.
Bro, this is going to be me. We're going to be down 28-0 in the first quarter. I'm straight-faced. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm going to be Nick Saban, when Bama went up 28-0 against Georgia this year, and Nick Saban's just like, because he knows what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. We're going to put up 42 and win the game.
That's true.
All in the second half. I'm not going to be sad.
Last quarter.
I'm be like this. Just wait till the end of the
Everybody's
game.
going to start leaving.
It's going to be 56-0 at the third quarter. Just wait.
And when you see those fours
we're going to come back.
Up,
when those fours go up.
That's when they turn on.
God, dude, they're going to put up those fours
go
down
up. We're going to turn it on
42-0,
and put up 63 points in the fourth quarter. 9
straight
touchdowns,
tutties, bro. Touchdown, pick six. Touchdown, pick six. Touchdown, pick six. Touchdown, pick six.
And we win the game.
Punt return.
Yep. We win the game. We onside kick it. Actually, no, we recover the onside kick every single time. That's what we do. 8 straight times we recover the onside kick.
Dude, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. It's just a shame that, like, I'm not excited to watch this game.
What's crazy?
I'm excited to see Alabama. That's what I'm excited for. I'm not excited to watch OU. I'm excited to see Alabama.
What's crazy is to talk about that. I'm really excited for this game, not in the sense of like watching the football game. Obviously, I am. Yeah. Like watching Bama's gonna be fun, but I'm excited that you're gonna be in the stands with us.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is like I don't think you're as excited about that as I am. Like I'm more excited that you're gonna be in the stands, than I think you're excited just to even be at the game.
That's fair.
Which is crazy because it's like that's so sad. It's like so pod for reference.
Oh god. Okay. No.
Wait, what? No. Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No. No, I'm saying pod for reference. I'm getting married in June, which means
this is not where I thought this was going.
It's not what we're going about. Basically, what I'm saying is like, I'm getting married in June, so I'm not going to be living. We're not going to be living together, and so
we are.
We have not been able to all go to a football game in the stands
Since high school.
ever. Since high school, yeah. So like, I went to one game with Spencer my sophomore year of college, and it was just like the Iowa State game where Perrion Winfrey blew up Brock Purdy. But basically, we've never all been in the stands at the same game since high school, and so this is the last one at home that we get to have. If Spencer comes to LSU, then we'll get to do that. But other than that, this is kind of it, at least for the home game. So I'm like really excited because I'm like, man, this is the last hoorah that we'll get to be in the student section, all three of us. And
I'm going to be acting like I'm in the student section when I'm 50 years old, dude.
I'm gonna get
I mean, when you actually go over there to the old head section, which is behind the home bench, they're crazier than the student section most of the time.
They say the craziest things.
Yeah. So they are honestly more lit than the student section sometimes, because student section is filled with sorority girls who want to go to the bars. But the old head section, they're dying to be there. This is the biggest part of their week. So, yeah,
that's crazy.
Golly.
I've seen them yell some crazy things from sitting in their seat back chairs, with the OU pad, and they say the craziest things that make your eyebrows raise. Like, huh?
Well, especially because when the guys that are close enough for the players to hear them.
Oh yeah.
They're the most annoying guys ever because they're just
figure it out.
They're acting like they can come in here and play better, but that's old heads. But that'll be me. That will be me. 100%. I will be the guy that yells that I could play better.
Yeah,
I will be that guy when I'm 50 years old. But I don't know. It's just so you Alabama, man. I don't even know. I think this game will be more of a slow bleed than like even South Carolina. I mean, there's always a chance that South Carolina happens again with this team that we have. But I think it'll be more of a slow bleed because I think what's going to happen is that we're going to not score. But when they get the ball, our defense will actually be able to slow them down and even stop them at times.
Yeah.
So I think you could see a first quarter where it's like 7-0, 10-0, and people are like hanging on. But then by the halftime, it's 21-0, 28-0, and then
it's just like Texas.
Yeah, just where it's like
Texas.
Yeah, where everyone in that
you
first
hold
quarter
on for the first half.
Yeah, people were like
quarter.
That first quarter, people were like literally thinking that like, oh my gosh, Billy Bell went big, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, when your offense can't score, you can't do anything. When you can't stay on the field, you can't do anything. So it's just going to be like a slow bleed because that's what a good team would do to us is slowly beat us up over time.
Yeah.
Their defense is not great.
Yeah.
But, like, it's still an Alabama defense versus what's going to be
horrendous.
Yeah.
OU offense.
I'm sure their pass rush will be just fine.
Yeah.
So.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
I think not to be Debbie Downer, but I think the saddest thing about this game is that this is probably the most beatable Alabama has looked in the last 15 years. And any other OU team, we're probably beating Bama this week.
We're putting up a fight.
We're probably
yeah.
I would argue last year's team
we put up a fight last year
would probably put up a fight or win. And now it's like this year, most people I feel like we have no chance of winning, which is really unfortunate because I think any other team we would beat Alabama this year.
We also ran into them at the wrong time because they are steaming hot. They are running through every team they play right now.
Yeah.
So, just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, beating LSU on the road 42-13 is bonkers. And that's when LSU was ranked 13? Something high. I don't know, 15, something. That's when LSU was good, quote unquote.
I mean, dude, 34-0 on Missouri.
34-0 Missouri.
They just didn't even it doesn't even it looks like old Alabama.
Well, that's crazy. They had 3 straight weeks of question. They lost to Vanderbilt, barely snuck out of South Carolina by 2 points, and then beat Tennessee by a touchdown. That was 3 straight weeks.
I go 4 weeks. That Georgia game, they almost.
Georgia game too, yeah. So that 4-week span, they were struggling, but
I mean,
they just
still a questionable game.
But they just turned it on. They've just turned it on ever since. So, or they lost to Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they lost to Vanderbilt, barely snuck out of Carolina, lost to Tennessee, and they've just been going on a tear ever since. And they'll probably go to the playoff. I saw this interesting stat. Bama actually has a higher chance of going to the SEC championship than Georgia does.
Oh, yeah. Because they beat Georgia.
Which makes sense. I mean, if they win out the rest of the year and Georgia wins out the rest of the year, Bama has to go.
That's the thing now. I mean, unless you're really playing for both of those teams, it doesn't really matter. You're going to make it in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you just want that SEC championship little trophy.
Yeah.
Put it in your trophy case. They got 13,000 of them. But,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'll save the prediction for later, I guess. But it's going to be interesting. I think it honestly will be more of an interesting game than some might think. I don't know.
This week?
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Wowzers.
I have a strange feeling.
Sooner Magic, I mean, it's kind of funny how when we're always, like, anytime we're a big underdog, it's kind of interesting how we end up actually playing. We normally play pretty well. There's been several times, I'm not just saying this year.
Yeah.
Obviously not this year because we've lost most of our games, but half of them. But, like, in previous years, there's been games where we've been ranked or, like, underdogs really high, and then we somehow win the game.
Yeah.
So...
We said that about Tennessee and Texas this year already.
But
we already have said,
yeah.
I think, that exact line for Tennessee and Texas.
It's just, I don't think it's going to happen for this week.
So
it'd be crazy.
You think it's going to be a close game? Does Jackson Arnold being captain change that for you?
He's captain this week?
He's captain this week.
That's here's my take on that. And I forgot about it. And I thought about it the other day, and I was like, I'm going to say this, or I'm going to bring it up. It's senior night. Why do you run out a sophomore or a redshirt freshman?
He's the only guy that's not a senior that's a captain.
I don't care who it is. He could be Heisman level. I'm not running him out there. It is not his night. I mean, unless it's a little foreshadow. This is his last home game.
I don't think that would.
I know they wouldn't, but I'm just saying, that just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like, okay, he's a leader, but you can go pick somebody else to go flip the coin.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to my point that I made on the very first podcast that we ever made. You need to have consistent captains every week.
Well,
I don't believe in the mixing up of the captains every week. I think you need to have the same captains every single week.
Dude, what if it's trickery? What if they're making him captain to make it seem like he's the starting quarterback, and then they run out Mike?
The thing is, I just heard BV ramble. Oh, I love Jackson.
Dude, it's all a ruse, man. It's all trickery.
I would be jumping for joy in the stands. I don't even know what I did.
Would we win?
I might hit a backflip.
Why does he love Jackson so much?
Would we win if Mike started?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we're not on that page.
I'm not delusional, guys. I'm not delusional. We've had this debate too many times. No, I don't.
We've had this debate every podcast.
This is the Kylan and Spencer debate of all time right here. But
it wouldn't make a difference. It'd make it a lot closer, though. I say a lot closer. We would have probably a touchdown or two more.
I think,
but Alabama's still gonna put up 56. So
I don't know. I just think that's crazy that he's out there because him and Troy Everett are their two best leaders. I heard him say. I said, "There is no. You can't tell me."
They said Jackson's one of the best leaders.
Jackson and Troy Everett. He said are their two best leaders on offense.
Listen, I've heard that he is a good locker room guy. From sources. I don't know how true that is. I've heard it.
I don't know. So
maybe he is. Maybe he is a good leader. I don't know.
Well, he's doing a terrible job. How are you a good leader if you're sorry? That don't make no sense.
How are you a good leader and the communication on your offensive line is abysmal?
Awful.
Your offensive line doesn't even know when you're snapping the ball.
You know what? You both make stellar points.
And your wide receivers don't know when you're snapping the ball. Your tight end doesn't know when you're throwing the ball. Your running back doesn't know when you're handing off the ball.
Nobody knows anything.
Nobody
knows anything. I don't know. Man.
Yeah.
You know what we should throw in there eventually here in the next 35 minutes is talking about the OC. Because a lot of people, I mean, it's rampant.
I was going to bring that up. BV said something in an interview saying that the guy he's talking to, he hinted at basically he's in another program and wanted to finish the season there before he came to OU. Who is it?
It's Arbuckle or whatever. That's the speculation from Washington State.
That is the speculation.
And it doesn't make sense because he's been calling plays for 2 years. It's a young guy, and I have nothing against young guys because you look at Zach Alley, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You look
Zach
at Lincoln.
Great.
Lincoln
well,
was
that's what I'm saying.
He was phenomenal. But I just can't see why we don't go. He was at a high school program.
He's 29.
He was literally at a high school program in 2020. calling like plays for a high
So
school.
5 years ago,
He played quarterback.
He did play quarterback.
That's huge.
Quarterback.
That is great.
That's
But
huge.
why don't we
Guy's
go get
29 years
Kitley.
old.
his mentor is the OC at Tech that like coached him?
Yeah.
Why don't we go try and poach
Hey.
his mentor? But I don't know.
I will say this: Lincoln Riley came from Eastern Carolina.
I don't care about the school. I'm just
No,
saying.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like there's I don't know.
It'll be interesting, but they just lost to New Mexico. They lost to New Mexico. Granted, it's Washington. They put up 35, but
They're 25th
how do you
in the
lose?
country. Wow,
That's unbelievable.
that's insane.
How are they 25th in the country?
Wait, what's their record? What's their record? They beat.
They're 8-2.
Okay, that's
still-
fair.
I mean, who?
That's fair. If you're 8-2,
it
you
is.
should
It
you
is
should be
fair.
ranked.
I don't know why I thought they were.
I thought they were horrible.
I don't know if 8-2 should
Oh,
always
they
be
beat-
ranked.
they beat
Not in this
Tech.
case.
Bad.
They beat
Jeez.
Tech.
They beat Tech bad.
Oh, okay. They should be ranked. I can agree with that then.
So and they they got spanked by Boise State, but Boise State is also very good.
And they beat Washington. I
football.
mean, that's actually
They're actually not. They're putting up a lot of points
That
this year.
New
That's the
Mexico
thing, yeah, they
game.
put up like
You look
a
at their.
ton of
I mean,
points.
let's look at their score. Wait, can you go back to that real quick? I'm sorry. Let's look at their scores here. They put up 37, 70, 54, 24, 25, 42, 29, 49, 35. They're putting up points.
I just
They're putting up
wonder.
points.
It's like, I just wish we could have got. I mean, like,
Kurt Signetti.
it's like we're going.
No, I'm kidding.
You're hiring into the SEC. It's like, man. So
Yeah.
what I found interesting yesterday was BV saying that he reached out to Dan Mullen last year, and Dan Mullen
Said no.
basically implied that Dan Mullen. That's crazy.
What's
I
crazy?
mean,
That he said no?
That Dan Mullen said no. I get that Florida's a great program, and like in their time they were fantastic. They were just up there with OU as a blue blood, but like the OU OC job, I feel like is the
Crazy.
best assistant job in college sports, like the best non-head coach job in college sports.
Yeah.
Maybe other than like an Alabama DC under Nick Saban or DC under Kirby Smart, like one of those guys. But like, I don't know.
Well, it's right up there
Maybe
with that
that's maybe
level.
that's my OU bias, but like, it's crazy to think that we couldn't like. It's crazy to think that somebody would say no
Yeah.
to the OU OC job. That's not a head coach. Like, I mean, if you're a head coach, you're gonna say no, obviously, but like, that's crazy.
Well, he was a head coach. So I think that's why.
No, he's the OC, isn't he? Not? Is he not?
No, he is the OC, but like
Yeah.
he was at. I think he's saying like at one point.
At one point
a,
he was,
a
yeah.
head coach.
Well, no. I'm saying
Yeah.
I think the reason it's amazing to me that somebody that's an OC
No,
at
yeah,
another school
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
would decline being an OC at OU.
Yeah.
Because to me, no matter where you are as OC, OU is a step up in my opinion.
Yeah.
As an offensive coordinator job, just through our history. Obviously, that's not the truth anymore because there are better schools to coach at. But just kind of sad to think. I mean, especially with where we were last year. I mean, like if I looked at this team last year when Jeff Levy left, I would have been like, yeah, that's a fantastic job. They're going up. They're trending up. But he obviously did not see that, which is pretty crazy.
Which is nuts. It just makes me think like he says no, and then did BV just get lazy and just say, oh well,
Probably.
like that just doesn't make sense. Like
To
that,
me, what probably happened is BV probably got a lot of no's because
which is crazy.
you can't tell me that he made one phone call and then was
Yeah.
like, well,
Seth
Luttrell,
you're up.
It's like, no, he probably made tons of phone
Yeah.
calls to tons of OCs around
Yeah.
the country and probably got tons of no's.
What does that say though? Like what does?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here is like, this says something crazy.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
other OCs are looking at this job like that's a death sentence or that's not where I want to be, compared to Florida,
Yeah.
where you're dealing with a 3 quarterback situation all year, like that's crazy because their
Yeah.
offense situation is just as bad as ours,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
and
That's
they
terrible.
don't want to. He doesn't want to touch us. That's pretty bad. I mean, that is saying something really bad about where we're at.
That's yeah.
Because
Makes
5
you
years
wonder.
ago, if you were given the job as OC at OU, you would turn down some head coaching jobs
Oh,
for this
yeah.
job.
Yes.
There are small FCS schools and all of that you would turn down
Yes.
a head coaching job at to be the OC at OU.
Yeah.
It's a big job,
Yeah.
and
It is. It says a lot of scary things.
it says a lot of scary things. We are trending definitely downward because that never would have happened.
Yeah.
For 3 years ago. 3 years ago, it wouldn't have happened. So
Yeah. Interesting.
concerning, very concerning.
And not to I mean, just bringing up, I know this is OU Alabama, but I'm kind of in favor of Joe Craddock, the Tulane OC. I think that would be – I've heard that speculation also, and they say that he might bring Darian Mensah, their quarterback. He's having a solid year. Won't lie to you.
They're ranked.
They're ranked.
They're playing pretty
freshman.
well.
He's a freshman. He's 2,100 yards, almost 2,200, 18 tutties, and 4 interceptions.
What's Jackson's stats?
I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look at it.
He has 2,200
Arnold
yards?
has 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But he's also only played in a couple games, like 5, 6, whatever games. I don't know.
Why is Jackson touchdown interception ratio not bad?
No, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, why is it not that bad?
I don't know why.
His stats look fine.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
He
He's
just
on
doesn't-
paper, he looks
Except
fine.
for yards. His yards are.
I mean, his yards are low. Yeah,
Yeah.
his yards are low. I mean,
That could be
there's not somebody on this
Yeah.
team that has good yards.
crazy.
I guess he's not throwing picks. He's just fumbling the ball.
That's the thing. He's just fumbling the ball.
I just don't.
You don't have time to throw it because he gets set.
I don't know. That whole OC talk that went down yesterday and that
It's
press
crazy.
interview blew my mind because I was just like,
Yeah.
golly, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It is
It's crazy.
concerning to think that an OC at a horrible school, now horrible, would not come to
They were
OU.
horrible last year.
Yeah.
And they knew they were going to be horrible this year. Everyone
Yeah.
knew they were going to be horrible this year. It's crazy to me because, like, you get offered $1.1 million. And here's the thing about OU is, like, BV's going to let you – you're basically going to be the head coach of the offense.
Yeah.
And BV's going to be the head coach of the defense. That's how it works here. So it's just – I don't know. Blows my mind that somebody would turn the job down.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about what people believe about us outside the program.
Here's a question: is Joe John gone at the end of the year? Or do they keep him? Do you think he flies back with LSU and that's his last flight on the team? I'm just saying. Because the pace that we're going at, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think BB fires him.
I don't.
And
either.
I hate that. I want him
December
gone.
1st is going to be we're going to wake up to some Twitter stuff.
Yeah.
December 1st because we're going to get back here and the team will get back at 6 a.m. And I bet you
Joe
The
John's going to
LSU
be in
game?
Baton Rouge with that stick with the little
Yeah.
bag on the end of it that you see in the cartoons on the side of the street.
Yeah.
This.
SpongeBob.
The SpongeBob where it's the stick with the bandana full of his clothes.
We got to put a picture of that on.
Like, that's what it's going to look like.
I would bet you I know this is kind of useless information, but I bet you they get back at like 5 a.m. and then they all let them go get 8 hours of sleep, probably get back there at 1 p.m. to
TD.
Sunday, and that's when the meetings are going to start on the offensive side of the ball. And I cannot wait to hear what happens in those meetings because it's going to be fascinating to hear who's going, who's not going, who are they getting, who's the targets. Like,
You know, and all respect to BV, I hope he gets rid of almost the entire offensive staff. Starts from scratch. I say almost, I mean, keep Bill. DeMarco has, I think you give him another year. But Joe John, keep Emmitt Smith, of course. But
Emmett Jones.
Emmitt Jones.
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, the running back for the Cowboys. Keep him on the staff.
keep him in Smith.
He the Hall of Famer running back on staff at OU.
It's crazy.
But
Dude, that's
Wouldn't he be the
It'll
only
be
one?
interesting.
That's crazy.
Literally.
Joe John's still here, though. I'm going to be pissed. He's really the main guy I want gone.
Yeah.
If I could pick if I had my pick of who could be gone, I want Joe John Finley gone.
Boom.
And I hope you find a job somewhere else. I'm not praying on your downfall. I'm praying that you don't work here at OU.
Crossings Christian. That's where you're going.
Yeah, Joe John, I don't know. It's just tight end room has had plenty of potential and no output for a long time.
For years.
You can't get your 5-star
Dude.
in line.
Dude,
That's what's
on the
crazy,
bench.
man.
That's what's crazy.
That means you
This-
have no authority, bro.
Well,
you have
here-
no power.
Here's what I'll say about this: is that from his environment, or is it because of a coaching issue?
Listen, I
It's
get what you're
always-
saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I get the but as a coach, I feel like there have been player after player after player that's come in with terrible whatever. Like even in high school, because you can get away with that stuff. If you're a 5-star in high school,
You can get away with
they're gonna
anything.
find. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You can get away with anything.
But I promise you, what makes sense to me is if I say, hey, how much do you love football? Whatever you say, I love football, coach. I really love it. I promise. I really love football. Do you understand that if you just go to class and show up, you will start? That would be, I feel like that has to make sense. And
Yeah.
if Joe John
Yeah.
cannot motivate him to do that, all he has to do is be able to practice. And he can't even practice because he don't show up to class.
Yeah.
My thing is, every other team in the country deals with kids that don't
Wanna go to
believe
class,
that
yep.
they have to do the hard and boring work that is required to be a championship athlete.
Yeah.
But those coaches figure it out.
Yep.
Those coaches,
I mean, they figured out George Pickens.
yeah.
Did you see how he got drafted?
Yeah. Standing in a wife beater like that.
Yeah.
It was so tough.
I mean, where did Antonio Brown go to school?
I love
Like Central Michigan, I think.
I love George Pickens, by the way. I'm a huge George Pickens fan. I think as soon as I saw him get drafted, and I was like, yeah, I'm a fan of his. I love George Pickens.
I think it was Central Michigan. I thought.
Where'd he go? We're looking up Miami. Wait,
Central Michigan.
Central
Central
Dang,
Michigan.
Antonio Brown went to
So
Central
the
Michigan.
coaches at Central Michigan figured out Antonio Brown.
Well, Antonio Brown.
Anybody
he,
can
he,
figure out
he didn't
Antonio
have that
Brown.
CTE back then, man. Now he's a little nuts. It's all right, though.
His Twitter is
It's crazy.
it's
But yeah,
awesome.
I just think,
It's awesome.
I don't know. You're either creating it or allowing it as a coach.
And I think he's
And
allowing it.
they're allowing
Yeah.
Devon Mitchell to not do what he needs to do.
That's the one. I just want to see. He is huge.
To me, it's fascinating that
massive.
it,
Massive.
it almost changes my belief in who Brent Venables is when he goes up on the press conference and kind of giggles it off. Like, yeah, he'd be the first to tell you, like, he's not where he needs to be. It's like,
I don't think he would be the first to tell you.
like you're allowing that.
Yeah.
Brent Venables, you're either creating it or you're allowing it.
Yeah.
Why are you giggling it off in a press conference? Like, you need to go in. I don't care if Joe John's the coach of that guy. You're the head coach of that guy. Go in there and figure it out with him. That's crazy. But ultimately,
Yeah.
Joe John, that's probably one of his biggest mishaps in his
Yeah.
entire career. And it's a huge mishap. It's not a mishap that can be allowed.
It's a huge mishap. I think one of his biggest, and this is just personal opinion, is Stog, man. Austin Stogner. When he was here at OU,
he was really good.
he was great. He was so good. Comes back, nothing.
Yeah.
Very, very mid. So,
I don't know.
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. But coaching staff, there's going to be some changes that need to happen. And they need to happen fast.
10 days. I mean, literally 11 days. 11
Yeah.
days, man.
11 days and we'll start hearing some things.
We're just gonna go home and eat Thanksgiving leftovers, unemployed.
Thanksgiving leftovers hit.
They always
I
say
almost think
that.
it's better than when you eat it off rip.
Because you
Oh
don't
my
got your aunt. You get another plate? That
See,
might
that
be
never
personal.
happened to me.
That might be personal experience.
Yeah, that never
That
happened
might
to
be
me.
personal
that doesn't
My-
happen to me.
Just me?
My grandma said,
All right.
my grandma said, put more gravy on that. Put more
Yeah.
gravy on that.
Ooh,
need
yeah,
to eat
you
up.
get-
You need to
you
eat
My
get
family
big.
encourages me.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
they didn't encourage me. They encouraged me to stop. Put the plate down.
That's the life of a skinny child is they're like putting food on your plate, scooping it up.
That's funny.
God, they don't
this
ever
boy's
tug on your
food.
shirt. They don't ever tug on your shirt. Ooh,
Yeah.
this getting tight.
They tug on your
Uh-huh.
shirt. That's great. If any of my family members tugged on my shirt and I was a little big, I would have mental trauma from that forever. Oh dang, that's crazy. My bad. I'm sorry. I feel bad. They were tugging on your shirt. They give you one of these too.
They call that character
Get a little
building.
big.
Wee. It's character building. Character building.
Hey, it makes you tougher.
Makes you
Makes you
tougher.
tougher. I can't believe you dealt with that.
Happens.
Your mom's gonna watch this podcast and be like,
They're probably laughing,
insane."
bro. I know my dad's probably laughing, bro. He's like, yeah, that boy
What is
did.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
I remember my mom one time told my dad, "Is this arm supposed to be that skinny?" I was a freshman in high school, and I remember I heard that, and I just went upstairs. I was just sad. So that's like my equivalent. I guess that's my equivalent.
Oh, yeah.
My dad, like, my mom did this. Are they supposed to be that skinny?
Put their
Dang.
fingers around it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she could have done this right there.
That's the life of a skinny child, dude. Like your whole family's like concerned about your health.
Yeah.
They're like, is he like too skinny? Somebody needs to feed that boy. And you're just like,
Yeah.
I eat a lot, actually. I eat more than an average human being.
Dude, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah. Well, I think we do need to comment on this because I think it's important. But BV, there's been talks about how his wife is back in treatment.
Yeah.
She was back in May, and I
Mhm.
think she's still. It's come back again? Is that what
It
they're
came
saying?
back in May.
It
and
came
then
back in
she had
May.
surgery last week to remove it again.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I hope it don't come.
So,
doesn't come back. But
Yeah. So, anyways, as much as we talk about BV's professional performance,
Mhm.
Deeper than that. It's way bigger.
it's
than that.
much bigger than that, and
So-
obviously that stuff comes much further ahead than football. So sending out all the best wishes and prayers for that stuff. Nobody wishes that upon anybody else. If Steve Sarkisian's family had that, it would still be the same way. So send out our prayers to BV because that's really sad.
What a terrible situation. I heard
Yeah.
that she flies to New York to get treatments all the time,
Yeah.
which is just, and without your husband there, that's just so brutal. And that's the life of a football coach that people don't know is that you sacrifice literally everything.
Yeah.
Like you don't even there's not get home at even 8:30 p.m. You're getting home at 10 every night and you're probably waking up at 5 every morning.
Yeah.
You sacrifice sleep, family, everything. And so when something like this happens outside of football, it's even worse because you have to do what you do your job while you're going through this situation, which is just, it's brutal. But Brent Venables and obviously Julie Venables, just the toughest, tough as nails. Because he's been going through this without us knowing this entire year.
Well,
and he's tough as nails. He's the same guy in the locker room. He's the same guy on the field. It's just who he is.
Well, that's what I was going to say is in May for him to show up to summer practices and bring the intensity when you know your wife has cancer and she's that is so much respect to that because I don't know if I can handle that. No shot. Knowing my wife has cancer and I have to go to football every day and act like and
everything's fine.
And act like everything's fine and be there for those guys because those guys need me too. It's like,
and again,
that's a big weight.
It's
on
not
his
like
shoulders.
It's not like you get home at 5 p.m. and then you can spend time with her. It's not like, oh, I have to go to work and I'll be back at 5 to take care of you. It's like you don't see them ever. Yeah. Ever. When it's fall camp, I guarantee you he doesn't see his family that entire month. And it's just it's a hard job and this is just making it obviously much harder.
Yeah. And I think with his kids, what does he have? 2, 3?
Oh, I think they have 4.
3 or 4.
2 in the house, I think. I think there's still 2.
I mean, you add that factor in. It's like, dad's at work.
And then they're by themselves.
So it's like, and then you're having to kind of step up.
Yeah.
Like, what does mom need? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but I mean, like Colby said,
situation.
Huge prayers up to her. I mean, hopefully this surgery got it, removed it, doesn't come back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, shout out to BV. I mean, obviously not the season that he won. It's not making it any better. He would love to be 10-0 right now, but still, I mean, to even coach Power 4 college football at this level and be dealing with that on the side and being able to be emotionally stable enough to manage both. I'm sure there's been plenty of nights where he goes to sleep probably crying, whatever. Because it's like, dude, that's we're beating you up on the podcast, saying whatever we didn't know. I mean, obviously it's different, whatever, but still, shout out to him for being whatever, and then shout out to her for just battling, dude, just being a soldier, dog.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
Hoping the best for that situation.
Hoping the best for that stuff. But
all right, we'll transition out of OU and talk a little bit around the country then. All right.
Can we put the?
Let's do this. We are starting out at Notre Dame.
Fun week of college football, by the way.
Yeah.
And an important weekend as well for several teams.
Huge weekend. Army, Notre Dame. Army is still undefeated. And
dogs.
Are up there with Boise State for that playoff spot. I mean, they are up there with Boise State for that playoff spot.
Say they go undefeated. Who's in?
Boise State, because they already have the higher ranking.
Yeah.
Like if Boise State wins out and they're at 12. But it's crazy because Army's undefeated and Boise's not. But they're well above Army. But here's the thing. Army beats Notre Dame.
Which is
how far do they jump? Do they jump above Boise State?
They probably would.
They
have to.
And then Boise State, if Army wins out, Boise State, there's no clawing back. There's no clawing back.
Yeah.
Because they have to be a top G5 team.
Dude, Army, if they go undefeated, they have to be in over Boise State because
crazy
because they have the Notre Dame win.
Dude, Army in the playoff, bro, they go to the playoff, they get done, they get shipped off to wherever. That's just crazy. The Army, Air Force, and Navy football teams boggle my mind because they're also doing military training while playing college football. It's the craziest thing in the world. I have so much respect for those.
The interesting thing would be, I mean, Joe Klatt talked about this a long time ago, but I think this would be awesome.
The Navy, yeah.
If we had the season ends, Army Navy play their game the week after the season before or after conference championship week.
After.
Okay. So in that case, if
No, they play the conference championship game.
I
and
think
then
so,
It's
yeah.
like they play their game.
Okay,
yeah.
so imagine Navy is third place in the AAC right now. If Tulane loses a game and Navy stays undefeated, they potentially could be I don't even know if there's room for them to get in. But if there is room for them to get in, it could be Army Navy 2 weeks in a row. And
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like they're playing the
which would be-
conference
That's
championship game, and then
crazy.
the next week
they play in the Army
they would
game.
have to play in the Army Navy game, bro.
And this would
That's
all be
crazy.
after the regular season is over. What's the even crazier part about this is the playoff is selected before the Army Navy game.
Yeah,
So Army could
Yeah.
get selected to go to the playoff
and then lose.
lose a game.
Well, if Army does, I would bench all of our starters. I'd play the second string. Why would you risk?
That's fair.
Why would you risk
Fair enough.
if you're in? Why would you risk that
But
for the
here's
playoff?
The thing, that Army Navy game might mean more to them than the
Exactly.
playoff. I mean,
That's literally
that is like
like
OU
their-
Texas. It's like, and
Yeah.
I get we would.
I don't know, bro.
Would we bench our
Because I'd
players
be
with
hot.
Texas if there's
I'd
nothing?
be
Listen,
on the line?
if we were in the playoff, as head coach, I'm benching my starters because I don't want them to get hurt before the playoff. And we played them literally the week before.
But imagine being at the Cotton Bowl
Oh, that'd be
and
sad.
you have to sit there and watch your second strings get whooped,
Yeah.
knowing like you could win.
Like they're all
Yeah.
just standing there on the side, like you're.
And I'm gonna be-
just like
Yeah.
they're probably not even padded up, bro.
I
Yeah.
think if I'm a student at Army, I hate Navy more than I currently hate Texas. I think that they're not the hate, like the
Yeah.
rivalry is more bitter between Army
I
and
feel
Navy.
like it's more what you call it.
it's just more like
you get-
meaningful, bro. There's
Well,
like
no.
a-
What's there's a word for it. Like I.
Losing hurts a lot more, that's for sure, in the Army Navy game.
It's like
Fun.
you can talk about it. Like
Bragging
IBE,
rights.
so I can talk about it. Now.
Bragging
bragging
rights.
rights.
Bragging rights. Like I think that's what
Yeah.
it's fueled by more so.
Anyways, I mean,
Crazy.
can you imagine a
Then hate.
situation where Army and Navy are playing after Army is selected to go to the playoffs?
Yeah, be nuts.
I just fascinating to me. Anyways, Army goes to Notre Dame. Army is currently ranked 19, and Notre Dame is currently ranked 6.
So if they win, they got to be in the top 12.
Let's also,
They got to
like,
be.
I'm sorry, but Notre Dame,
I hate that they're even 6, and then you have to put them
Okay.
there because they have one loss.
they beat A&M
God,
on
it's
the road. They
ridiculous.
beat A&M on the road. Let's remember what I said literally, like, I think a couple of days ago. A&M, who have they beat? They beat Missouri, and everyone went crazy. But every time they play somebody that actually is good, they lose. They lose. Then Notre Dame loses at home to Northern Illinois. And
Wow.
since then, they have played nobody.
Purdue, Miami, Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy. Navy's not bad.
Why do they low-key have us back-to-back?
Florida
weeks?
State, Virginia. Their schedule is
It's horrific.
If I was at Notre Dame, I'd be pissed
But-
about our schedule.
Their only
They
ranked
play whoever
win.
they want.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be so mad.
Well,
Boring schedule.
it ends strong.
Yeah.
Their only ranked win is A&M, which again I think A&M is just kind of fraudulent. And then they have a loss to Northern Illinois at home. I don't know.
Almost got beat by Louisville.
I
They
think
lost. They won by a touchdown at home against Louisville.
yeah.
I don't think Notre Dame is good. I don't think they deserve to be in the playoff. You have a Mickey Mouse schedule. You don't have to play in the conference championship. It's ridiculous. I hate it.
This game is a bigger Army is a bigger underdog than we are to Alabama in this game.
That's crazy.
I just
What's the spread? 14.5?
14.5.
14.5?
ESPN gives them an 87.5% chance of winning this game. I get it, but like
Oh, it's not even at home. It's at Yankee Stadium. Oh, jeez.
That's tough.
The ghost of Aaron Judge is going to come sneak up on
That's-
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
that's kind of a home game for Army.
Where
They're in
is
New
Army?
York.
Is Army in New York?
West Point.
No.
I thought West Point's in.
West Point's in like Kentucky or something.
Where's West Point?
Wait. No, you're thinking of the Navy. The Navy's in New York.
West Point.
West Point is
Norman.
I'm pretty
Oklahoma?
sure in New York.
Is it New York? That's crazy.
West Point.
Where?
Military Academy. Where?
Where?
Location.
Where? Oh, it is
West.
in New York.
New
right?
York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it's kind of a home game for
Interesting.
Army.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I think Army fans will show out for this. Those Army students are definitely going to travel.
Oh, absolutely.
Those little cadets over there.
To the city. That's so sick that they're playing in Yankee Stadium. That's really cool.
I love one thing I love about Army and Navy is that they show up in uniform to those games.
Yeah.
Okay, look at how close this game is. No, like actually, West Point is right there. New York. I'm sorry, this is so buggy, but
the city's right there.
Like, this is a home game for Army. What in the world? Where did you see that it's at? Yeah, it is at Yankee Stadium.
But if you go down,
that's so strange, dude. I would totally buy tickets for as low as $100 to this game. Oh my gosh.
Oh, absolutely.
If I was in New York.
Yeah. I would go to that game for sure.
This is sick, man. This is a great game. The more I'm talking about this, the more I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
Man, practically a home game for Army, and Notre Dame is a 14.5-point favorite. That is wild.
Why has nobody talked about Army getting the playoff yet? Because if they beat Notre Dame, they have to jump Boise State.
Because of Boise.
They have to jump Boise State.
I don't think anyone has them beating Notre Dame on their radar.
But if they beat Boise State,
man. Picking this game is so hard for me because obviously
how many points does Army put up consistently? Let's see.
Army I'm telling you, it's just dogfight every time.
Do they still run that stupid offense?
They always will.
Yep.
It's not stupid.
Well, it's not stupid
because
the
last thing it ain't.
Okay, they're putting up a lot of points this year. They're putting up a lot of points. 42, 49,
North
44,
Texas is good, by the way.
45.
North Texas is a good football team.
They had like a 14-minute drive. They ran one drive in a full quarter versus North Texas.
That's bomb.
I wanted to go to this game on the bye week, the Army Tulsa game. Yeah, dude. Man, it's so tough. The question here for this game is Notre Dame good? And we can't. I can't decipher that.
Wait, here's something crazy. I'm looking at their schedule. They play Navy. So, you know how we talked about the hypothetical if they play in back-to-back times?
Uh-huh.
They play Navy on December 14th.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6 days before the playoff starts.
No, yeah, that's what we're saying.
So, what if they would have less than a week?
Yeah.
They're not playing their starters. If they're in the playoff, they're not playing their starters.
Well, that's what's so crazy.
Because they'll have 6 days to recover. Actually, 5 days. They'd have 5 days to recover.
It's so crazy. I don't know how this got allowed to even happen, where you play a regular season game after the playoffs are selected, and then 6 days later the playoffs start. It's just
they must have just thought there's no chance
they
Army or Navy would get in.
Yes, that is what
and
they
now
thought.
they're facing the consequences because literally they would play. Actually, they would play Navy. They would have 3 days to recover. They would have a travel day. They have 4 days to recover, a travel day, and they're playing their next game.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The playoffs is split over the 20th and the 21st.
Yeah.
But that's based on seeding. There's no guarantee that they would get the 21st.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
That is
Do you think this would be crazy, but do you think if Army got in, they would cancel that game?
No.
Gosh, dude, that game.
No.
There's just no shot. But it's like, think about all the circumstances at play.
I genuinely mean it when I say their AD might not care about the playoffs more than they care about that Army Navy game. Like, that is so big to them.
It's a big time game. It's a huge game.
Oh man, this is bending my brain right now. I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah. Let's get to the scores.
I have no idea what to predict here.
Yeah. Let's get to the scores. We've been yapping about it.
Oh my gosh. I'm so torn on it. I'm just gonna go with analytics and see what they. I'm just gonna go with analytics.
Bro,
I'm a computer science.
He's got that computer science mind, dude. Always bet the spread, man. What are you talking about?
I will bet.
Colby's.
I'll go with Vegas and bet 24-10. Army or
That's
Notre
terrible.
Dame.
I'm shaking it up because the more that we talk about Army, the more I believe.
I believe in them too.
I believe in them Knights. Army's offense. I'm looking at their schedule. They've put up a lot of points. I want Army. Give me 24. Notre Dame 20.
That's a great one. I do, man.
Give me Army. Give me Army. I don't care if I lose this week. I'm going to put my belief in them.
Their quarterback has 1,000 rushing yards.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's your leading rusher.
That's crazy. Hey, QBs who can run are dangerous. Look at what's his name at Vandy? Pavia.
Yeah.
Diego Pavia. He can run. That gold and black. Those gold and black teams.
Vegas has got to know something that we don't. Because if anybody looks at this game, I just don't. How are they?
I don't know. Dude. Vegas is really good at their job. They are.
They got to know something we
But
don't.
Vegas also picked Bama to beat Vanderbilt. They also picked Bama to beat Tennessee. I'm just saying.
You know,
Not by 14 and a half. That's crazy.
give me.
I know. It's so tough.
Golly.
Listen, how? First off, this is the main argument for the spread. How is Notre Dame going to have the time to score 2 more touchdowns?
That's what
Army?
oh my gosh,
they're
yeah,
not.
dude.
They had a
How are they gonna have the
15 minute
time?
and
They had a
54-second drive.
Yes.
That's insane. That's
How
a
is
quarter.
Notre Dame going to have the time to put
They're
up
not.
2 more
They're
touchdowns?
not.
They're not. Army almost beat us, and we had Kyler Murray. I was at that game.
Give me Army. You know what? I'm doing it. Give me Army.
Give me them Knights.
Give me Army 13-10.
I agree. That's if they win, it will
It
be
is
in that
13 to
fashion.
10.
Let's go.
All right,
Marcus
BYU,
Freeman,
Arizona
you're a
State.
fraud. I hate Marcus.
BYU, Arizona State. For
This
this,
is a huge game.
This is a massive game, by the way, for
Yeah.
Big 12 implications. Basically a decider of the Big 12 championship game.
and
Who's going to be
potentially
in?
a playoff appearance.
Yeah. So, at Arizona State, BYU has just not looked great recently. Let me just do a quick look up of Arizona State.
Here goes his computer skills. Here it goes.
I'll get into it. It's a bit off what Spencer's saying. This game is going to decide who goes into the Big 12 championship. It's most likely going to be Colorado in, and so now it's whoever wins this game will also probably be in. And then obviously whoever wins the Big 12 will go to the playoffs. So this is a season-ending game for one of these teams in terms of the playoff.
Yeah, literally.
So
They just beat Kansas State on the road. That's what they're coming out of.
coming out hot.
Coming out hot at home. I'm going to take Arizona State in this game.
That's kind of where I'm
Um,
going.
I'll take them 31-27.
Are they playing at Arizona State?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Arizona State here. I think they've been getting hot at the right time, and they've kind of been under the radar this whole season. Like nobody's really talked about ASU a lot. Everybody's talked about BYU, but nobody's really talked about ASU. I like ASU here, especially at home, and based off of how they're playing the later part of the season and how BYU's playing later part of the season, I think ASU takes it away. Give me 27 to 24, Arizona State. I think it's a close one.
Cam Scatterbo is actually a dog. He is the, for better terms, he's the lighter version of Tawi Walker, in my opinion. And he's just a dog. He just runs through people, and I love watching it. So give me Arizona State. I'm saying they put up. Give me 34. BYU. Say they score 20.
Nice. All right, let's kind of roll through.
All right. Ohio State,
Oh gosh.
Indiana.
Give me my Hoosiers.
All right. I think this game is going to be really close. I think this game is also a toss-up. I think both teams are really, really good. I will go with Ohio State. Better team, more talented team, and they're at home. Those are the reasons why. If this game's on the road, I give this game to Indiana probably 9 times out of 10. Because Indiana, I mean, they're just as good as Ohio State. It's just the home factor and the talent factor for me. I'm going to take Ohio State 27-21.
Nice. I have to disagree. I've said this for weeks now. I think Indiana is taking Ohio State. We've talked about this earlier, but comparing the same teams that they've played in the same circumstances, I think Indiana is a better team than Ohio State. Obviously, Ohio State has higher recruiting rankings and better portal transfers, but Indiana looks great, and they have played, in general, better than Ohio State has this whole season. And their record shows that. They're undefeated. So anyways, I think Indiana goes into the horseshoe, causes chaos, and beats Ohio State, which will ultimately place them in the Big Ten Championship versus Oregon. I'm taking Indiana 31, Ohio State 24. I think Indiana puts up quite a few points in this game.
As bad as I want to do it, I want to give Indiana the win, but I just think think Ohio State's probably going to take it. I'm going to go Ohio State. I kind of feel like it's not going to be that close. I don't know why. I feel like it's going to be Ohio State 38. Indiana. I'm going 38 to 21.
Man. You guys might be right. I'm just placing my belief.
I will say,
putting my hope in them.
That video of Kurt Signetti getting to Indiana, and he goes to a basketball game and says, "And Purdue sucks," and the whole crowd goes crazy, and then he goes, "And Michigan and Ohio State suck too," and the whole crowd goes, "Whoa, whoa, yeah." And
it's coming to fruition.
If he actually does it, he's already beat Michigan. If he actually beats all three of those teams in his first year,
it's gonna be nuts.
Props to him. That's all. That'd be awesome. All right, Alabama, Oklahoma. I'm just gonna go ahead and put on my score. It is 52-14, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh my gosh. Jeez. I don't think there's much to say considering we just spent the whole podcast talking about it. I hate to see it. I don't think it's gonna be that close, and I wish it was. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Sooner Magic comes in and thrives, but I really don't think it will be. Give me Bama 52. Actually, no. I need to get different from your score. And I think our defense would hold him. No, I don't. Give me Alabama 45 and OU.
It's tough.
I was going to say 13, and I had to, pause myself. Give me 13.
The thing is I feel like Eli Bowen's going to be covering Ryan Williams. That should be the matchup. He's the fifth best corner. He's allowed the fifth.
He's great.
Least or whatever yards
Eli
in
Bowen's
college football.
really good.
He's allowed 84 yards.
He's incredible.
Ryan Williams doesn't even have 1,000, but I mean that's not saying anything. He's still a crazy, incredible playmaker, and he's 17 years old, so can't hate on him. Jalen Monroe's their leading rusher, which is also, it's not shocking, but it's like, all right, your quarterback's your leading rusher, so okay. So if we stop that, which I don't know how. I have no reasonings.
Danny Stutzman.
I mean, that might be the method. I don't know.
Kip?
Spy. Kip is going to have to crash out the entire game to stop him. I think it won't be as bad as y'all score. I don't think we're going to win. But give me Alabama 31, OU 21.
Okay, 3 touchdowns.
Wowzers.
Hey, I hope that's scored.
I hope it is. I hope that's because that would keep me there. That would keep me there.
Yeah.
If it's actually 52-14, the fourth quarter.
I think it's senior night, and I feel like some of these seniors have. It's going to be a little something.
That's
fact.
Like they'll
have a little.
Absolutely.
Maybe not. But I feel like there will be just a little more, little edge,
dude. I guess
absolutely.
Just from playing experience, like on senior nights, you were locked in. Like you get locked in.
I agree.
You get dialed.
How good are our seniors, though? How good
Right.
are our seniors?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. That's all.
Well, yeah. Anyways, like and subscribe. Follow us on anywhere you do media, adult social media whatsoever. We're everywhere. So we appreciate you guys watching this podcast, and we hope to see you again. Boomer.
Hey.